Hatepu, thank you for joining me on Herbal Intellect Video Minis. I'm your host, Jennifer. Please also check out my show that airs on Nubiahoodradio.com as well as on Blog Talk Radio, Saturdays at 4 to 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. On today's show, we're going to talk about an herb that is quite a gem in all herbal remedies and is one of my favorites as well. Licorice. Now, licorice you might have heard of in use in candies or flavorings and things like that, but did you know that it can be used in herbal remedies to heal your body? Well, we're going to talk about some of the properties of licorice today. First, licorice is usually sold as a root, a dried root, and it's harvested usually in the springtime, and it's about 3 years of growth until it's harvested. Licorice can be administered just by eating it and reaping the benefits that way, or it can also be made into a decoction. Now, if you want to learn more about how to make decoctions or other herbal administration techniques, just check out some of my how-to videos. Now, let's talk about some of the practical uses of licorice. Licorice is a demulcent. Now that means that it's very cooling and soothing and kind of slippery as well. So if there is some type of irritation or inflammation in the body, such as a stomach ulcer or a small intestine ulcer, licorice will be great for something like that. Also, if there is any type of harsh cough or really bad cold where you're very dry in the throat and the nose, licorice can help to soothe those mucosal membranes that are inflamed or highly irritated. It's very cooling and anti-inflammatory. Licorice is also considered an adaptogenic herb. Now this means that it helps us react to and helps us to get over stressful situations. It has a supportive effect on the adrenal glands. Now the adrenal glands play a role in helping us adapt to stress by producing epinephrine, cortisol, and those type of hormones in our body. So licorice can support that organ and help us to react better to stressful situations. Now, speaking of that, stress, sometimes people take on bad habits when they are under stress, such as smoking or other drugs. Now, licorice can help us break those addictions just by the act of chewing, but also the effect that it has on the adrenal glands will help us break addictions. Now, licorice is also really beneficial to the immune system, and there are many other different uses for licorice as well. One of the other great things about licorice is that it has a harmonizing effect with other herbs. So that means if you're taking an herbal formula that doesn't taste good and it's hard to get down, the smell is bad, add some licorice to it and it will harmonize and make it taste a little bit better. Licorice has a sweet taste to it and a sweet smell as well. So let's talk about some of the contraindications of licorice. So some of the warnings with licorice. If you have low blood sugar, then you should take licorice. It's great for that. But if you have high blood sugar or diabetes, stay away from licorice. Some people don't agree with that statement, but if you're new to herbal alternative medicine, as they call it, stick with things that are 100% for you. If you have high blood pressure, you should also kind of stay away from licorice as well. It does have a high sugar content. Now, taking licorice for up to 4 weeks would be perfectly fine. But if you're going to try to take licorice for longer than 5 or 6 weeks, you might need to add in some other things that will prevent you from having potassium depletion. So taking licorice for a long period of time will decrease your potassium in your bloodstream. So you want to add bananas or apricots, things like that that have a high potassium content. It would also cause, if taken for a long period of time, it would also cause a retention in salt in your body. So you definitely don't want that. So taking it for a short period of time under acute situations is beneficial. Or adding a small amount to herbal formulas that you take for a longer period of time is okay as well. So that is licorice. One other important thing about licorice, little side note here, if you get these licorice sticks, some people actually use these. It's an ancient practice to use these as toothbrushes as well. They remove a lot of the tartar and bacteria from your mouth. So try out licorice. It's a wonderful, beautiful herb. Please get more information on herbalintellect.wordpress.com or check me out on nubiahoodradio.com. In peace, Hotep.